actually trying to conceptualize a particular product where they would want to see if they can try to build an app and try to see if that actually has any traction or basically is it. So they wanted to do a proof of concept. Honda guys wanted to do a proof of concept. So
Mm-hmm.
we hosted them in our office where we got into a 2-day meetings and try to understand what exactly we can actually do for them as part of the proof of concept, right? So we're trying to try to expand our relationship beyond just doing the connected solutions or just doing the work that is more specific to the automotive industry, right? So we wanted to see how we can actually build an app, a community app, and try to do build a service within that app to which will basically share where just like an Airbnb, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
you can actually rent your house to someone else for a few days. In the
Yeah.
same way, we want to build an app for the Honda community where you can actually rent your ATVs, or you can rent your motorbikes, or you can rent your lawnmowers for a couple of days to someone. So something where we would want to build it up, and the meeting that I'm talking about is to see how we can actually conceptualize that product and see if we can do that, build a mobile app and launch it only to the Honda community.
Makes sense. So it will be a personalized, customized app for them only. And
Correct.
would it be safe to assume that these strategic solutions that you're producing for this auto division, it's helped them grow as well, the division? It's it's driven the growth for them. Would
It's
it be
not
safe to?
live, so we have not launched the app. It is still, as I said, we are trying to build a proof of
It's
concept
under construction.
that's going to start
Mhm.
like in few weeks from now. And once we have the proof of concept built, we would want to release that app only to the Honda employees for the first 6-8 months, and then eventually try to release it to the public.
Okay, got it. Moving on to the next point, you say that very recently I hosted my parent company and customers in building a new app where the key. Okay, we just talked about
Yep.
this. This is
Mhm.
the app development. Okay, so this app that you just talked about, was this originally your idea?
Yeah, it is not.
Did you?
So
It is not. Okay,
it is not. Yeah.
got it. There's a there's a four-line bullet here that says utilized in-house resources to provide great value to customers. Uh, you worked with in-house development and operations team and created dashboards and reports which are coming in handy to the customers. This way, I also built a strong competence in-house without spending any money from current budget. So this is the point that you had mentioned here. So I have a few questions on this.
Mhm.
How were these dashboards and reports that you created useful to the customers exactly?
So we have.
Aren't dashboards usually used to track KPI management?
So this tool that I'm talking about, right, Dynatrace, it's an application performance monitoring tool, right?
Mm,
So we have a couple of our customers who really were trying to figure out what are the issues that they are actually encountering on the current website, right? And number one, number two, how can we ensure that any of those issues come up, how can they better address that, right? So that's usually if you can actually buy some some hours from this product team from Dynatrace or New Relic or other application performance monitoring tool offerings, right? And they have to spend money and have them do all that reporting. Instead, what we did is that with I had that knowledge on Dynatrace and this application performance monitoring tool. So what I did is that I trained a couple of the guys in-house to really use how the tool to use the tool, and uh, did share that knowledge. With that, they are now working with our customers and have actually done all the deep dive analysis for them in terms of the monitoring, and we created those dashboards for them. So the dashboards which basically talks about if there are any requests on the website that's taking beyond 30 seconds, they get an alert saying customers are actually getting impacted because the request response time is gone beyond 30 seconds. And we also have a specific report that we have generated where they can actually see it on a daily basis, where it actually tracks about the amount of errors that are actually happening in the last 30 days. So based on that graph, if they see that there is a huge spike today, that means clearly there is something wrong, so that they can actually take those corrective actions. So that's the kind of reports that we have built in the application performance monitoring tools and the other dashboards that we have built, that is now coming handy to all our customers right now to really leverage that.
Okay, so here you're talking about the website for your company, right? Not your client's
Oh,
company.
clients, sorry,
And the,
I'm talking about
so,
clients.
okay, so which clients exactly?
Do you want to name the customers?
No, are there multiple clients or is this just one client? This
There are two
specific
clients.
one?
There are
Okay,
two.
so uh, you optimized the website for these clients so their customers could have a better experience, correct?
Yep.
Okay. My next question for the same bullet is that do you have by any chance any metrics on how much you improved customer satisfaction rates for these clients and how much money you were able to save by leading this project internally?
Good question again. So I wish they are very happy about this reporting. I can clearly say that, but I never asked them like how much of a gain they had. Clearly, the conversion increased after we made these changes, but I don't have the numbers. I can
Okay.
actually get in touch with them and get those numbers for you.
That would be great. Okay. So just to be sure that I understand this correctly, what I gather from this point is that you improved service provision and customer success for your clients, for your company's clients, by identifying improvement opportunities and capitalizing on underutilized application performance management tools.
Yep.
And then you collaborated with an internal development and operations team to build these web based dashboards for a better tracking and KPI management.
Correct.
Okay, I'm glad I got that. It
No,
was
you are bang on.
okay. So let's move on to the next point, which is it says here that have been part of marketplace strategy for commerce platform. We've already talked about this.
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one, which is you built a performance testing division in the organization. Performance testing is gaining traction across businesses, and our customers are looking for vendors. I realized this opportunity we can leverage and started working with our team members to have come up with an offering which we can now offer as a service. So what I immediately understand from this is that you analyzed market trends and identify again an improvement opportunity for growth, and then you build a performance testing division in the organization and develop this new service line to meet increasing market demand and grow the business portfolio, correct?
Excuse me. Correct. So this actually goes in line with the marketplace strategy as well, right? So but in this particular case, let's just take a typical example of we being a company which actually does e-commerce implementation. So once we do this implementation, there are many other products in the market like Akamai or Epica, which actually does the load testing or performance testing, right? And customers usually bring hire those companies to do the load test and performance testing of the product that we have actually implemented. So what we are seeing is that most of the times customers ask us like, who are your preferred vendors who you can actually bring on board? And we used to recommend Akamai or these companies which actually have done the load testing. And we realized
Mhm.
that if we are actually bringing someone on board, but can we not build a product ourselves which can actually do a load test and performance tool, right? So that way what we did is that we again brought some in-house quality analyst teams or QA engineers, and we asked them that what kind of a technology stack that we would want to use, and accordingly build a product for ourselves. So we did build a product now, and we are now trying to test this product with a couple of other customers. So So if this is successful, which I think it's going to be, so going forward, it is going to be an additional channel of revenue for us within the company, so that we can not only from our offering standpoint, we are going to say yes, we are going to do our e-commerce implementation. Yes, we are going to do application monitoring for you. And by the way, we also now going to do a load test and performance tool, because our Pragati has another service line which actually does load test and performance test, so that you don't have to go to companies like Akamai or any other companies. Yeah,
So it would be an all-inclusive solution.
it would be all inclusive solution, but it's a new solution offerings in the current stack that we are now going to offer to our customers, which was not the case um, uh, last year or the year before.
Okay, and did you initiate that? Did you
Yes,
go to your okay. You came up with the idea.
correct.
Okay, got it. That's impressive. Okay, so let's move on to the next bullet, which is um, analytics. You say that data is the key to growth of any organization, and our customers are no different. With
And
the
it's the same lens
plethora
as what
of
I said
tools
right
available,
now.
sorry.
So sorry. So what I'm saying is that it's the same lines as the service line that we have done for performance testing. So we are also going to basically add an additional solution to the customer, saying, by the way, we will also do performance monitoring for you, and we will let you know if there are any issues or if there are any challenges. We will take care of addressing those as well. So that's we discussed that briefly a while ago, which is in line with the monitoring bullet point that is there on top.
Hmm. Okay, got it. So
It's in the
you
same lines.
provided okay, so you provided customized tool solutions to optimize data management as well. Hello?
Yeah, sorry, what's that?
I said, so you, in a way, provided customized tool solutions to optimize data management for customers.
Did I say that? Where am I seeing it?
No, I'm asking you
Oh, okay.
because you say you analyze the different kinds of tools and then you recommend which one the customers should use, right? So you're providing a customized tool solution, and this will help optimize management.
Well, I won't say customized, because, as I said, like from let's just say there is a customer who doesn't have any application performance monitoring tool or some logging analytics tool, right? So we usually recommend them saying, hey, by the way, you need application performance monitoring tool like Dynatrace, or you need Omniture, which is a tool again for doing your analytics. And we also tell you for logging, you might need tools like Splunk. So and when we I usually recommend those tools to the customers, and I tell them like why I actually recommend it to them, and giving them a clarity in terms of how those tools can better help them to be successful.
Makes sense. Okay. So, would you say that your approach in overall customer management in this company was a more consultative selling approach? You first analyzed what the needs were for your clients and then you proposed solutions based on those needs.
Correct.
Okay. You can hear me, right?
I can, yes. Did you hear me? I said yes to your point earlier.
Yes. Yeah, I heard you. Okay. So, general, let's see if it jogs your memory. So, first of all, how many clients in total did you manage here? How many client accounts did you manage?
Oh God. So it's interesting. Whenever there is a problem, I get involved. So no matter which customer it is, so there is no specific tagging of these many customers would I would be working on. But actively, I would say, knowing the way how things are right now, there are at least three to four customers who I would be who I where I will be engaged on beyond
Mhm.
the pre-sales that I would be doing to address the prospects.
Okay, got it. And did you manage any budgets?
I don't.
Okay. Did you manage any ROI or key performance indicators?
I don't.
Okay. What did you achieve in terms of costs? Were you able to reduce company costs? Were you able to increase profitability through any of your strategies or initiatives?
So one thing that I can think of is there is this product called JRebel, where it actually costs $400 per person, and I have proposed that tool for in-house development because it actually avoids server stop start time whenever whenever a developer makes any changes to the code to reflect or to test their changes. They need to start restart the server, and it usually takes around 6 to 8 minutes on an average, right? And
Okay.
on a given day, a developer spends at least an hour or so just for the server restart. So I've said that, hey, I think um, we should we should try to address this by introducing this product called JRebel, where when a developer actually does any code changes using this particular product JRebel, they don't really have to do the server stops to really test their code changes, right? So that's something that I've done that 2 years ago, and it's still we now have that product being given access to all our developers in house. But the only challenge is that I don't know how to quantify the gain. Clearly, we are seeing that a project that we can actually do in 2.5 months, now we can actually deliver it in 2 months, right? So that actually reduces our operation cost.
It does actually. Makes sense. Okay. Good point. Hmm.
I can share that number. I mean,
Did
I've never thought about it. So maybe if you can just put that in one of your questions in terms of the KPIs, then I can actually try to think about it and then come up with something.
Okay. Done. Let me just note it down.
So
Okay. So, did you manage any teams?
I manage teams. So when I say manage teams, so like say there's a customer, Maui Gym, where they were I was leading that project where there was 60 people around across all locations, including US and 3 locations in India. So
Mhm.
though they on paper they don't report to me, or the product managers don't report to me, but I play the role of guiding them guiding them to see what steps that they need to do, and kind of help them to come up with the estimation, help them with coming up with the planning, help them with coming up with the deployments planning and everything, right? So though on paper they don't report to me, but when there is a situation where I need to address a project, I kind of play the consultant for them in house, where they look up to me to for the solutions, and they look up to me for the directions that I'm going to give to them, and they accordingly follow that.
Okay, makes sense. So you act as a guidance. And do you have any numbers for how many employees these were across all 3 locations? Even a guesstimate would do.
So for a project, there were around 60 people team that I was leading, right? Where I was coordinating with the solution architects, and I was coordinating with the product managers and product leads and the technical leads to
Mhm.
execute this major project of ours. And the number was around 60 at the time.
Okay, got it. Done. Hmm. Uh, can you think of any other issues that you faced during your time as a director here in this specific
Uh,
position?
so other than that, I mean, I've been trying to see how we can integrate our company into our parent company. So the acquisition happened very recently, right? And I've been a director as well for the brief period of time. It's just I don't know. It was like April, I guess. Yeah, April.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty much. So primarily, I'm now working on technical pre-sales, where I work on. Um, work with my sales team to get our prospects, to work with the prospects to become a potential customers. And I'm there, and I'm on top of that, I'm trying to see how we can integrate our current offerings in our parent company offerings, right? So trying to see how we can actually complement our parent company's current offerings. So that's what primarily I'm working on at this point of time. So there were no accomplishments at this point of time, but that's something that's work in progress.
Makes sense. Okay, great. Would you like to add anything else, or shall we move on?
I think we can move on to the next one. I kind of explained pretty much from the
Everything, yes.
yeah.
We we covered everything. Okay, so the next one is an technology manager as well as a solutions architect from July 2016 till March 2019.
Yep.
This was a promotion, as you mentioned.
Correct.
And
By the way, so the director is also a
what were
promotion.
your
So
primary? Sorry.
I mean, you didn't ask this question when for the first one where when I was a director. So that's also I've transitioned from practice and technology manager to a director. So that's also kind of a promotion.
Okay, got it. Noted. Okay, so what were your primary responsibilities as the practice and technology manager?
So capability building, right? So we have initiated. So again, this is in line with what I would have actually explained to you a while ago, where we have started a practice and capability organization within our in July 2016. There wasn't a capability building organization prior to that. So I led that initiative, and wherein I had to I have come up with various plans